everybody, welcome to the Wild Dog Arcade. I am Gary.
And I am Ed.
And tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of tech for you. We're actually going to be doing some play testing of different flipper rubbers. I know everybody out there likes different kinds. Some people don't know what different ones do. So we're going to do some back-to-back comparisons and play with 4 different types of rubber. The first one is the Stern OEM Black Rubber. So this is what you'll get on a brand new Stern machine. So typical normal rubber. Second is going to be Titan Pinball's low bounce silicon bands. So these are a silicon, they're supposed to be low bounce. So we'll see. Third one we're going to be testing are SuperBands, and these are a urethane product. They've been around for a little while, yeah, we use them on a lot of our games. And then the fourth and final one are a relatively new product. It's Pinball Life's own Durabands, and they're a urethane rubber. They're a slightly different composition than the SuperBands as far as durometer and stuff like that. So we've actually got them in different colors, so that way you out there can see which ones we're playing with. We'll also be letting you know on the screen and stuff like that when we get over to the game. So I think we should go play some pinball, and we'll let you know at the end what we think. All right, here we are. We're going to be play testing our first one. So as you can see, the black bands are on there. Those are the OEM Black Rubber that came with this machine. So we're going to play that. We're going to play a few balls each and just kind of see how they behave. And you can watch that along too. We'll each play a few of them.
Yeah.
So, you know, most people are very familiar with the Stern Black Rubber because that, you know, what comes on all new games. Unless an operator has changed something else. All right, so our goal will be just to do like dead bounces, post pass, drop catches, things like that, not trying to really get big scores on the game.
Oop, well, finding new ways to get over there. Oop.
Okay. Post pass, successful.
Oh, hey.
So, you're very familiar with these ones, Ed, so.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of places, what they'll actually do is take these natural rubbers off and put on the polyurethane, which is a little harder to grip. These ones are, as you've noticed, a little bit of the footage there. Yeah, I was able to grip things fairly easily.
Yeah, each one of these flipper rubbers behave a little bit differently. They have different bounce characteristics. They have different grip characteristics. So
yeah, that too.
In the end, it's going to be like, what do you want to play with versus, you know, what maybe we prefer, because everybody's going to have different preferences. So sort of like religion here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There have been many battles as to what is the best use.
Yeah, lots of internet debate. So we thought we'd just kind of sit down and play some of them. So let Ed play here a little bit longer.
Oh, nope. I saw that one coming.
All right. I'll jump on there.
Yeah.
So each one of us will play a couple of games here. So I'm going to reset this and restart.
Yep.
Play a couple balls each, and then we're going to swap out the flipper rubbers. So, all right, here we go.
You have to touch the flippers first.
All right.
Pretty good, good recovery. Easy to kind of know how much pressure to put on there as well.
Yeah, these are pretty much things. We're only going to be changing the flippers on the lower flippers tonight. We're not going to bother with the upper one. There's really you can't drop catch or dead bounce off the thing really. So
yeah, that's true.
So let's.
But I kind of realized as I'm sitting here watching you play this round that speed might be a factor, as well as how fast you're reacting to whether you're going to have the control of the ball or not. At least to your expectations.
So as you can see, the natural rubber, oops, that one hit the metal. So natural rubber dead bounce is really pretty good. So it's got a decent grip. The one thing about the rubber is they will change over time as the rubber hardens and ages. Obviously will get dirty, but it'll change. That's the one drawback to natural rubber. The other thing is it can help make your game dirty. It'll pick up little bits of rubber from the different flippers and different items around the playfield and start to leave little ball tracks. So that's one of the negatives to the original black rubber is a natural product.
Right. I might see a game like that in the wild a few times simply because the operator didn't decide to change the rubber or even check on the rubber for a while.
Yeah. Right, but as you can see, I can stop it pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some dead bounce. So.
Yeah, I gotta try the dead bounce too. I forgot to do that.
Okay.
Shoot the weak target.
Okay. Ah! A joke about the Wilhelm screen.
Oh, and I wasn't paying attention to what he was saying.
So, it does have pretty good control here. So this is pretty familiar territory here with the natural rubber.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to put on the Titan Low Bounce. They're a silicon product. They're pretty soft. We'll see how well they behave compared to the natural rubber. So,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So I don't recall how it behaved because I think we've tried it a couple of times.
We've tried it a couple of times, yeah. So this will be a fresh time for us.
Yeah.
Right. These are actually really easy to install. They're really soft, so they're really stretchy. So it doesn't really take much to put them on. All right, here we go. Titan Low Bounce.
The purple ones. All right, I'll try a couple of things that I prefer doing, which is not drop catching. Okay, all right, here we go. That was a little bit of the lower bounce there, I noticed on the dead bounce, or dead flip rather. Maybe it is about the same. Let me try it again. And on second thought, maybe it seems like it's the same. All right. I'll try a couple of things here. Okay, that seems to work okay.
Lost temple is lit.
I'll just pick one randomly here. It does seem to have a little bit of a higher bounce, perhaps, as I'm moving around and navigating things, especially if it's going at a higher rate of speed compared to the rubbers.
Yeah, I think silicons. These are a special version of the Titans that are. They have multiple different types, and they have the regular silicon ones, and then these low bounce silicon ones.
Okay.
So
is this the low or the high?
this is the low bounce.
Okay, got it. Low bounce.
Yeah, because a lot of the ones you'll play on location where the flippers are really bouncy.
Right.
Those are the regular silicon ones.
Yeah, those are the ones that like to eat money in arcades because it's harder to control the ball. Oh yeah, not that one. We have to do the bottom ones.
Spell King Kong to battle T-Rex.
See if you can catch it.
Okay, I'll try. Oops.
Why don't you leave the flying dinosaurs to me? I'm the one who knows how to handle a
There we go.
rescue.
A little hard to do that way. Oh, backspin. Was able to control that okay. All right. Whoa. That was near vertical or horizontal rather.
Yeah, that is a doable shot.
Huh. one.
I do.
It's a little harder to drop catch, I think.
Yeah, I do feel like you have a little less control with these. Just watching you here.
Yeah. I think when it comes to like trying to drop catch it or do a little more fine, like that right there, I was trying to do a cradle and it seemed to roll off a little easier to me.
Yeah, I don't think I have as much grip.
So I don't know if that would have worked, if that same thing would have happened to the natural rubber or not, that whole thing there, but we'll see what you think.
Yeah. Doom. Don't skip. Come on.
What do you think?
I don't think there's quite as much finite control.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. Yeah, you were struggling on that micro flip for a moment. Oh, hello.
Don't move.
What we'll have to do also is kind of review with our viewers what kind of bands we've been using, what games have what bands.
Yeah.
Things like that, because as I mentioned earlier, for a while we were really comfortable with the SuperBands and we were able to flip a lot of our games out for those specifically. And nowadays I actually kind of lost track of what kind of bands we actually use a lot.
Yeah, I think they did dead bounce, a little springier dead bounces.
Okay, that's kind of what I was feeling too. Yeah. Like, are they less predictable, do you feel? Like it's a little more difficult to handle?
They go higher, it seems to me.
Okay. Interesting, yeah. See, that's a good idea. Trying to do multiple on that might also kind of help determine what it is that we like or don't like about it.
All in all, I'm finding I think a little bit less finite control over the stock rubber.
I agree. It's not like it's. I mean, it might be because we're better players at this point, but I feel like I'm able to adapt to that. Not terribly.
Yeah.
You know, it's not terribly difficult to adapt to. But at this point, I kind of prefer the rubbers.
Yeah, the bad thing about the rubber is they make help contribute to your game being a lot dirtier.
Yeah.
And also,
it makes it dirtier a lot quicker.
Yeah, and also the rubber ages, so they change their behavior.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Just like a tire, like on your car, you see cracks on the side of all of your tire.
Yeah, it's a little. I think it's a little bouncier than the stock rubber.
I've actually seen some games that have had brittle-looking bands on the flippers, just from age alone.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We'll kill that, and we'll move on to the SuperBands. All right, now we're ready to put the SuperBands on instead of the Titan low bounce. So if you buy these, you're going to find these are a lot more difficult to install. They're pretty hard durometer, and they don't stretch a lot, so they're going to be a lot more work to try to put them on. Now the silicone ones come off super easy.
So if you have arthritis, make sure you get someone younger to put it on.
Yeah, on these ones. So these do take a bit of things. So I might get in the way of the camera, so you'll have to deal with it.
All right, you're fine so far. As long as the game doesn't break.
Yeah.
I'm always kind of worried about
these
that.
are a lot more difficult to install, so just keep that in mind.
Okay.
And then you gotta push them down to seat them on the little ledge. So yeah.
All right.
that is more work to do, but we'll see how they behave. All right, Ed's gonna play it with the SuperBands. So the one nice thing about like the urethane or the silicone ones is no matter what color you get, they basically perform the same. Now rubber, natural rubber, if you got like red rubber or white rubber, they actually behave completely different than the black rubber. They'll be a completely different durometer. So
oh, because it's like different materials?
Yeah, it's got since it's a natural product, when you add the coloring and stuff into it, it changes the behavior. So I've tried like some older school ones, and it's like whites are super bouncy. So that's the nice thing about the urethane. So no matter what color you put on, or even the silicone, they'll play the same. So it's just color choice is just your personal preference. So here we go, SuperBands.
SuperBands. Oops, I wasn't trying to do that. There we go.
The SuperBands do their dead bounces are definitely more damped.
Yeah, they are.
When they hit, they deaden quite a bit. So they're definitely different to get used to.
Right. Okay. Okay. I think that was a normal one. Normal behavior on that, I think. I have to kind of remember what the behavior was on the first one versus the second one versus the third one now, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see if I can tell after I play a few. Oh, okay, good. Oops. Wow. I feel like the ball's going faster. I don't know about you. Oops. Like, it feels like it's going into that scoop pretty quickly. Oh, here we go. Okay, so. Wow, that really dampened the crap out of that dead bounce.
Yeah, let it dead bounce more. I do think they seem to be kind of a little more grippy, so it seems you can catch them a little easier, I think. Dead bounces do take a little bit of getting used to because it does seem to deaden them.
Yeah, it deadens quite a bit.
But the drawback to being a little more grippy is they do put more backspin on things.
Yeah, especially if you're going at it at a high rate of speed, and a lot of times in games you're pretty much harder, it definitely makes it a lot quicker too. Yeah, I mean, look at this. It just kind of, and it even goes in there a lot. I just learned that goes in there a lot easier when it's going quicker, which I don't see happening on the natural rubber bands. Oh man. Okay. Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Got a hang of the leap of faith nudge.
I guess so. Well, I haven't even tried to nudge it all. I feel that like it is definitely a lot grippier. I feel that it is grippier. With that being said, I think it has some drawbacks in terms of, oh, well, that was kind of nice right there. Liked that. Makes it a lot easier to drop catch.
It deadens. Yeah, I think it deadens. They're grippier and they deaden the ball quite a bit more. So.
Yeah. Especially the behavior I'm getting on missing the, doing the leap of faith a little easier. Whoops, I didn't let it bounce off the post like I should have. But now Gary's turn.
All right, able to stop that. Let's hit something here.
Oh, just about missed the ball there. Whoops.
All right, let's do a post pass. Oop, mistimed that. So it works on this game to post pass.
Yeah, I think it's a little easier, to be honest, because of the grip that's on it. Are you noticing the grip on there for
Yeah.
rubber? Well, excuse
me, game. It's like, how dare you just test the game? All right.
That was a good anti-skill shot there.
All right, let's try to hit something.
Spiders, you go first.
Wow. I wasn't expecting a distance off of that bounce on there like that.
Don't move.
Definitely got more grip, but when I hit the rubber on the back, the backspin stopped the ball on that rubber.
Oh, do you think do you think it stops the backspin easier, or?
Well, I think because it was backspinning in the correct direction, since the rubber's more grippy, it actually braked on the thing.
Oh.
Definitely has a different dead bounce characteristics
Yeah.
than the rubber or the silicon.
Yeah, I know you do a lot more dead bounce moves than I do. But that being said, I did notice that myself when I was trying it out.
Right. Let me try backhanding this, see how
Okay.
well this backhand works with this rubber.
Did that seem easier?
No, it seemed about the same. It's a tight shot.
Oh.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, maybe drop catch.
Oh,
Well, it's a good practice, or good test for the multi-balls.
yep. Ooh, there was some backspin.
Yeah.
This urethane certainly has more backspin
Okay.
because it's grippier.
Yeah, because as we speed up through and get a lot more excitement going on here, things like that will happen and roll off the tip. If you're not careful with the backspin on those SuperBands.
Dead bounces are they're not as active, but they are definitely repeatable. And
Yeah. I definitely feel a lot more confident with it.
Yeah, because they don't go out of control. It deadens them enough to where it actually feels like, I think it's a little more predictable than
Yeah,
the silicon ones.
Exactly.
Rubber has pretty good dead bounceability, but I think these urethane ones do that a little bit better. But again, that's probably a personal preference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see what we kind of preferred or what we like as we've gone through year after year of playing pinball. As we get better and better.
and of course, every game's going to be different too.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you, if you want to try different flipper rubbers, try them on buy batch and try them on your different games, because every game's going to behave a little differently.
Yeah.
All right, going to swap out to the Durabands. So these red ones are the Durabands. They're a urethane product too. They're a little softer than the SuperBands just as far as feel. So kind of feel maybe between the natural rubber and the SuperBands here is hardness. So pop off all the SuperBands.
Yep.
And here we go with the install of these. So we'll see how well these do. Yeah, they definitely feel a little softer.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they're way easier to install than the SuperBands. Okay, yeah, they kind kind of went on like the more like the natural rubber.
Okay.
Definitely not as easy as the Titans, and easier than the SuperBands. So they're kind of somewhere in the middle on hardness. Okay, now let's do some gameplay. All right, folks, we put up a camera down here from a certain angle on this flipper because I want to illustrate one of the things you get with the black rubber. If you leave them on your machine, we haven't had this machine this long, and as you can see when I pull this off, this black schmutz, that's from the rubber. That's from the natural rubber. So what happens is your ball hits those and it tracks it all over the playfield. You end up with these little rubber tracks all over the place. So that's one of the negatives to the actual natural rubber you can see there. It's just amazing, you know, for the limited number of plays we've got, how much just the rubber flexing on there has left behind.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit.
So what is it that we have to do in order to clean that off?
Oh, just a little alcohol will clean that off. But
Okay.
it's just a good illustration of, you know, rubber degrades over time.
Yeah.
And these,
And then you get
just both the silicone and the urethanes don't leave behind that kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Over time. This is what, if you see a really dirty game that's got a lot of big tracks on there, it's all from the natural rubbers. And so eventually I change out all of the rubber in here to either a silicone, like clear on the slings, or whatever flipper rubber. But yeah, it's that's definitely an interesting thing to point out. All right, here we go, playing with the Durabands.
Super skill shot.
Thank you.
Spell key.
Don't lean your head in too much.
Oh,
T-Rex.
sorry. I was doing your thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, well, that was just bad luck.
Yep. That just hit off the fucking
the metal.
metal.
Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. Okay. See what happens here.
Watch where you step.
All right. I like them. I'm trying to decide if I like them better than the SuperBands, though. Like, they're definitely pretty grippy. And I like the fact they're easier to install, too, you know?
Well, that is one nice thing about the urethane ones is urethane tends to be very durable.
Yeah.
The silicone will get chewed up pretty quickly, and then rubber, of course, gets chewed up and also changes hardness as it ages. So
Yeah.
these, as long as you clean them, these and the SuperBands will remain pretty consistent.
I'd like to be able to try a multi-ball mode, I think.
Hit the spider a bunch.
Okay.
You almost at it, so
Can I do it while I'm here?
Yeah.
On CVM?
yeah.
I can, okay. Oops. This will be a good test, you also. Oops.
Yeah.
There we go. Oops, not
One
quite.
more. I think the little finite control doesn't seem as quite as good. I don't know.
I feel like they are,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's sort of like trying on a pair of new shoes. You know, you're kind of like, I like it, but do I like it enough to have them on forever? You know,
Yeah.
like right now, I'm feeling pretty confident with my shots. You know. Oops. So I definitely feel a lot more confident. I feel, in general, with it.
All right, now he's got a 3-ball going.
Yeah. Oops. Oh man.
Oh, I spoke. Sorry.
Yeah. You've ruined it now. I'm fine with 2 to kind of get the idea of what it's like with malted also. It's fine. I'm liking these.
They seem to stop pretty good.
Yeah, they do. and they don't feel like they're back spinning like really quickly all of a sudden. Ooh, that was a good save there. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really jostling for control and making sure that I look out for that backspin to happen. So
Yeah, maybe they aren't a little bit less grippy. Maybe it'll be better for a little bit less crazy backspin.
yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell,
Yeah.
but I do like them. I will say that. Oh, they really want me to shoot the left target. Uh-oh. All right, let's see what happens. Nope, not quite. All right. You want to give it a shot?
Yep. Let her drain.
It's hard to let it drain. I want to keep playing.
Yeah, I know you do. Everybody wants to keep playing. That's the great thing about pinball.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Skill shot. Calm player collected.
Yeah. I already have a King Kong almost ready. Banana combo.
Well, it does seem to,
Is it behaving the way you would like it? I guess is a good question to start with.
yeah.
Because
So
when
dead bounces seem to be
Uh-huh.
working pretty well.
Yeah.
Feel really similar to dead bounce then as the Durabands.
I mean SuperBands.
Yeah, sorry, SuperBands.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can
Yeah,
do those.
SuperBand-
I can do those little tip things. So.
Right.
It doesn't seem to have as much crazy backspin as the
Titan.
certain SuperBands.
Oh, SuperBand. Yeah. The SuperBands. You're right. Now that you point that out, it definitely seems to have that property and the sort of thing you have to look out for. Whereas this, it seems that it doesn't really have that.
All right, see if I can get this Kong multi-ball started so we can play some multi-ball. Whoops. So I think post-passing, I think the easiest one to post-pass has been the silicon,
Okay.
because I think they're a little bouncier, so
That's true.
so I think
So it's almost like what's your
what are
like
you looking
style
for?
of play? Yeah. Like what are you wanting a more offensive run of things? Do you want to be more defensive? Then you probably want to go ahead and do yeah. How's it feel in multiple mode?
Pretty good. I'm gonna try to drain. Oh, now I got 4 balls. I wanted to drain out to 2 just so I could.
I mean, you can certainly tell. Just even if it's 4 balls, you can have a little bit of an easier amount of control, I believe. Yeah, I mean, look at that. There you go.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Blah!
Break.
There we go. Now I'm down to 2.
Yeah, it kind of lets you do a little more fine control.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking these so far.
Nice catch. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember that when we stream next time.
Yeah, I think these are like a good compromise between the SuperBands and that natural rubber.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it sort of seems like it's somewhere in the middle or something, huh?
Yeah. They definitely dampen more like the SuperBands as far as dead bouncing. So they're not quite as springy as the silicon.
Right. And do you feel like when you're doing your dead flip there, that it's
feeling like it's pretty controllable.
okay. Have you tried drop catch yet?
Oh.
Oops.
Countdown starts now.
Okay.
A little bit bouncier than the SuperBands on it because I think that they just don't quite grip the same.
Yeah.
Speakers. You go
But
first.
but it's pretty stoppable and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, even if you don't make a perfect drop catch or
Yeah.
tap passing's a little easier, I think, to navigate with it
Yeah.
too. So,
Okay.
so one thing we wanted to point out was on all of our games, we ended up with SuperBands. We ended up liking them and falling in love with them.
Yeah, well, we kind of
So-
like them because especially the classic games, we found that we like them for the grip factor, the ability to trap and grip and stop the ball. Well, and I think that's where we kind of migrated to with that. So, but yeah, basically every game in our collection right now has SuperBands on it. We just took a look. So we've done our testing here. Natural rubber,
Yes.
Titan Pinball Low Bounce, SuperBand Urethane, and Pinball Life Durabands. So,
Yes.
all right, let's do this. Let's compare it to the natural rubber.
Okay.
So let's look at the Titan Pinball. So, when you played these, what did you think, Ed?
With Titan, it seemed a little more difficult to control the bounces. I felt like the bounces were a little higher off of things when I was trying to do my recovery shots.
Yeah, I think it was a little more springy. Like everything bounced a little higher and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Even though these are the low bounce ones, imagine what the non-low bounce ones would do.
Right. Yeah, I think drop catching also. Again, not really sure how well I was able to perform that kind of thing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of, from what I remember these guys being a little more on the side of, okay, we did it for a while with Titans. We don't like them as much. There's something else that we typically liked, whether it was the rubbers or the SuperBands.
Yeah.
And it sort of seems that way now, I think. You know?
I felt what I felt with these. The small control was pretty good, but definitely dead bounces bounced a little higher and stuff like that.
Got it.
I would also be afraid of the silicon. They might tear up pretty good, and I've seen a lot of those. So all in all, I think they have good tiny control, like little control stuff seemed pretty good. I seem to be able to stop the ball and stuff like that. Dead bounces seem to be able to do that. They just were higher, so you had to adjust for it.
Right.
Okay, so SuperBands. So these are the hard urethane ones. These have been on the market for a little while. We use them in a lot of our games. What's your opinion?
Well, we've been playing games with the black rubber for a while, and for going backwards a little bit in time when we started playing the 90s pins, we started falling in love with these a lot. And the reason being is it's very, very grippy when it comes to stopping the ball, deciding what you want to do, and then hitting that shot confidently, as well as when you get that ball returned. A lot of the times you can kind of predict a lot easier and control the ball a lot easier with that. But that backspin comes back at you a little quicker, I think. Doesn't it?
Yeah. The grip allows you to like stop balls like when they're coming down the in lane pretty good because they'll grip. But they will introduce, like if you post pass, I find if a post pass goes over the other flipper, it usually has a ton of backspin and then sometimes tries to accelerate off of the flipper.
Yeah.
So dead bounce, I find these dead bounces on these things very repeatable. They don't go very high. So you have to make sure that it's not too close to the end or the speed's too slow because they definitely deaden the ball quite a bit comparatively.
Yeah, exactly. I think when we mentioned, going back to rubber again, when we did the dead flips, bounces off the dead flips, they were a bit higher, weren't they?
On the rubber ones, I think the rubber ones are a little less high than the silicon ones. I think these bounce a little bit. I'd say the rubber and the silicon Titans are pretty comparable as far as dead bounce.
Okay.
This definitely deadens them quite a bit. So you do need to allow for a little more velocity to make sure you dead flip and don't dead flip into the middle.
Right. So
And then final, Pinball Life Durabands. So these are another urethane product. They're a little softer than the SuperBands. So what was your impression?
At first I wasn't really sure what to make of it. And what's interesting also is when I touch both of them, and I can kind of understand why the ball is behaving it the way it is, because the fact that it's a little bit spongier but yet pretty stiff and nice and I guess firm at the same time, as well as flexible, I guess is what I was trying to say. I feel like I felt confident with this, and I started to like them more and more. I wasn't quite sure when I started my plays where I was going to go and how I was going to feel about it, but then as I was doing drop catches and dead flips and cradling and things like that, the ball felt a lot more predictable and controllable. That was my thought.
So for me, I felt that these are a good compromise between the grippiness, but the hardness of the SuperBands versus the natural rubber. I think they kind of feel like they're like right in between. I can repeatedly dead bounce very well with these.
Right.
It deadens them a little bit, but not a ton. Not compared to that.
Right.
The finite control felt pretty good. Maybe obviously not as good as the SuperBands. The SuperBands with their grippiness really stopped the ball and stuff like that. But I also didn't notice a lot of horrible backspin with these.
Yeah, that was the other thing I noticed as well. I'm glad you pointed that out. And as you were talking there, I was kind of feeling the difference between rubber and this, and it kind of has the same properties in terms of the feel of it. And you can kind of understand, okay, that is a little easier to prevent the backspins than this,
By the way, this is an extremely scientifically calibrated stiffness measurement.
Well, you know.
But yeah, I think the hardness feels really similar. This is not. I don't have a durometer checker, so. I mean, for us,
we're just playing by feel anyway, right?
Yeah, we're playing by feel, literally in the game.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can feel how soft these are compared to even those.
Yeah, yeah, that one's really squishy compared to this one.
Yeah.
That's a good point, because when you pinch it, you feel like kind of pushing in. Whereas this doesn't really have a give to it,
Yeah. I think the Durabands here, these do a really good job of replicating the natural rubber.
Yeah.
Actually, I think, and given the fact that urethane, they're probably going to last longer, and they won't make your game dirty. So
now, correct me if I'm wrong. Urethane in general, isn't this something that the arcades put in because they want to prevent people from getting good?
I think a lot of them use cheap silicon bands, which are really bouncy.
Okay.
And have no grip. Which those, if you ever played an arcade and the balls just come down and go boing, 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 boing,
right.
They're generally a silicon one. There are some urethane ones that I've seen, but I think it's mostly the silicon ones they put on. The urethane ones, there seems to be only two, and that's the SuperBands and now the Durabands. So, but there's a lot of silicon rubber, flipper rubber out there that's been around for quite a while, and the ones they put on a lot of arcades are just extremely uncontrollable. I hate playing games like that.
I know.
It's just obviously the operator has put them on to make money, but the low bounce ones are if you like a little soft, a little more movement when dead bounces and stuff like that. They're a pretty good compromise too. It's definitely a different style of play than you get with either of the urethane ones. But I think I want to try some of these Durabands on more machines. So I'm kind of liking the way they were behaving. Kind of a good compromise. I mean, we all love the way the natural rubber plays, but I hate how dirty it makes the game.
Right.
And they change over time. These will get hard after a while.
Yeah. You don't realize that maybe your gameplay is suffering, or maybe you're just realizing one day, well, how come I'm not hitting this way like I used to, or whatever. You want something that lasts longer, not only for the sake of your game being clean, but also for your own gameplay, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And typically, I find that the SuperBands are extremely long lasting. Even if they start to see a little wear, you just rotate them and you get years
That's true.
out of these things.
Yeah, we did.
Years.
Yeah.
Now these are brand new for us, so we haven't tried them, so we can't speak to the durability of those. Silicon ones, I've seen a lot of silicon ones get chewed up on locations. In home use, probably not going to have a problem with it. it. So.
Yeah, and then rubbers. I mean,
Rubber's rubber. Everybody's seen rubber, and it gets chewed up on the ends.
Yeah, and then you'll see like the one strand that's left that's holding on for dear life before it just goes and snaps off the
I
flipper.
hope that doesn't happen during your game. So,
Right.
all in all,
All
that's things. But I encourage every one of you, if you own a pinball machine, go buy some different kinds and try them on your game, because every game is going to be different, you know, based on the speed, how the ball moves. Some of the crazy geometry games like Uncanny X-Men are going to probably put a lot of backspin on the ball.
And how you play your game too, honestly.
Yeah.
You might be a defensive player more than an offensive player, and so you might want to decide, okay, maybe I like the Titans better because of this and that, or just whatever it is.
Yeah,
So.
it's definitely a personal preference. So you take what we say with a bit of grain of salt. But I think I'm going to try some of these Durabands on some more machines here and see if we like them. Because I am kind of liking them a little better than the SuperBands at this point.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was fun. I'm glad that we did this. Yeah. All right.
All right, everybody, make sure you subscribe to our channel if you like our content. We also do live pinball play on Twitch and on YouTube on Wednesday evenings and Sunday evenings. So definitely join us if you like some live game play.
Absolutely. Come in, chat with us, or lurk, or otherwise. So until then, thanks for watching us, and we hope to see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.